The idea for this video actually came straight from the comments section because every time Linux comes up, especially when Microsoft does something new or controversial, the same argument explodes again and again. People ask why there are so many Linux distributions. They argue about which one is the best. They demand a single ultimate Linux that everyone should use. And some even claim that this fragmentation is the main reason Linux will never win on the desktop. Recently, with Microsoft once again making headlines through AI integration, Windows account requirements, cloud dependency, and tighter ecosystem control, those comments have multiplied. Viewers keep saying things like, if Linux wants to compete, it needs one version. Or just tell me which Linux distro is best for everyone, or even Microsoft succeeds because Windows is unified and Linux is chaos. So in this video, inspired directly by those viewer comments, we're going to slow down, step back, and debunk the distro myth entirely. We're going to talk honestly about whether an ultimate Linux for everyone even makes sense, why the question itself may be flawed, how Microsoft's approach contrasts with Linux philosophy, and what people should actually be asking instead. Let's start with the myth itself. The myth says that Linux has too many distributions, that this choice overwhelms users, that it scares beginners away, and that if Linux developers could just agree on one perfect distro, Linux adoption would explode overnight. On the surface, this sounds logical, especially to people coming from Windows or Mac. Windows users are used to one Windows, Mac OS users are used to one Mac OS, and when they look at Linux, they see Ubuntu, Fedora Debian, Arch, Mint, Pop! OS, Zorin Manjaro, Endeavor OpenSUS, and hundreds more. It feels messy, it feels disorganized, and compared to Microsoft's polished marketing message of Windows is for everyone, Linux looks fragmented. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The idea that one distro could serve everyone equally well is not only unrealistic, it completely misunderstands why Linux exists and why it has survived and grown for decades. To understand this, we need to understand how Linux actually works. Linux is not a product in the same way Windows is a product. Linux is a kernel surrounded by user tools, desktop environments, package managers, and philosophies that can be combined in countless ways. A distribution is not just a different skin or theme. It is a set of decisions about stability versus freshness, simplicity versus control, automation versus transparency, corporate backing versus community governance. When people ask for one ultimate Linux, what they're really asking for is one set of decisions that magically satisfies every possible use case, personality type, skill level, and workflow. That's like asking for one single vehicle that should be equally perfect as a race car, a family minivan, a delivery truck, and a mountain bike. You can try, but the result will be compromised in every direction. Now let's bring Microsoft into this, because this is where the comparison becomes interesting. Microsoft can afford to push one Windows because they control everything. They control the code, the licensing, the updates, the defaults, the telemetry, and the roadmap. When Microsoft decides that everyone should use a Microsoft account, that's it. When Microsoft decides that AI features should be baked into the taskbar, users can complain, but they don't get a vote. This centralized control allows Microsoft to create a unified product, but it also means users have very little say. Linux, on the other hand, is the opposite. No single company owns it. No single group can force a decision on everyone. This isn't a weakness. It's the entire point. The variety of distros exists because people disagree, experiment, and optimize Linux for different needs. Removing that diversity in the name of simplicity would destroy the very thing that makes Linux powerful. Another part of the myth is the assumption that choice is inherently bad. We often hear that beginners want choice. They just want something that works. But this is only half true. Beginners don't want unlimited choice with no guidance, but they do want the ability to find something that fits them. The problem is not that Linux has many distros, it's that newcomers are often introduced to them in the worst possible way. They're thrown into endless lists, heated debates, and tribal arguments. Arch users mock Ubuntu, Ubuntu users dismiss Fedora, Fedora users argue about Debian, and suddenly the beginner feels like they've walked into a civil war. The issue is cultural, not structural. Linux doesn't need it needs better explanations. Let's talk about what people actually mean when they say ultimate Linux. Most of the time, they mean a distro that is easy to install. Stable, secure, fast, good-looking, works with most hardware, runs most software, and doesn't get in the way. And here's the twist. Several distros already do this, depending on who you are. For a non-technical user switching from Windows, Linux Mint might feel like the ultimate Linux. For a developer who wants cutting-edge tools, Fedora or Arch might feel like the ultimate Linux. For a sysadmin, Debian or Rocky Linux might be perfect. For a gamer, something like Nobara or Pop! OS might be ideal. The ultimate distro already exists for each of these people, but it's not the same distro. This is where the Microsoft comparison breaks down even further. Windows pretends to be for everyone, but in reality, many people compromise. Developers install WSL or dual boot. Power users install third-party tools to fix what Windows doesn't offer. Privacy-focused users disable services manually. Gamers tweak endlessly. Windows is one size fits all, but it fits no one perfectly. Linux flips this model. Instead of forcing everyone into one shape, it offers multiple shapes. The mistake is thinking that flexibility equals confusion. Flexibility only becomes confusing when it's poorly communicated. Another viewer comment that inspired this video said something like, if Linux had one digit, hardware vendors would support it better. This argument comes up all the time, and it sounds reasonable, but again, it misses the reality. Hardware vendors already support Linux at the kernel level. Drivers don't care whether you're using Ubuntu or Fedora. The kernel is the same. The differences between distros rarely affect hardware compatibility in a meaningful way. What affects compatibility is vendor priorities, not distro count. Vendors focus on Windows because that's where the market share is, not because Linux has too many flavors. If Linux magically unified into one distro tomorrow, vendors wouldn't suddenly change their business strategy overnight. There's also a philosophical misunderstanding hiding behind the distro myth. Linux was never designed to win in the same way Windows wins. It was designed to be free, modifiable, and adaptable. Success in the Linux world is not measured by monopoly, but by resilience. Linux runs servers, supercomputers, phones, routers, TVs, cars, and yes, desktops. It succeeds precisely because it can be reshaped endlessly. The desktop is just one battlefield, and even there, Linux adoption has been steadily growing, not because of one ultimate distro, but because the ecosystem as a whole keeps improving. Now let's address the elephant in the room, beginner experience. Many commenters say just tell people to install Ubuntu and stop confusing them. And honestly, for a long time, that was good advice. Ubuntu played the role of a default Linux for years. But even Ubuntu is a set of trade-offs, and not everyone agrees with the direction Canonical has taken. Snap packages, design decisions, and corporate priorities have pushed some users away. That doesn't mean Ubuntu failed. It means the ecosystem is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. When people disagree, alternatives emerge. Linux Mint exists partly because people wanted Ubuntu's base without Canonical's choices. Fedora exists because Red Hat prioritizes upstream innovation. This is evolution, not fragmentation. Microsoft, on the other hand, does not allow this kind of forked evolution in Windows. If you don't like the direction Windows takes, your options are limited. You can complain, tweak, or leave. Linux lets you stay and still disagree. That's powerful. And it's something that can't be captured by the idea of a single ultimate. Another myth tied to this topic is that Linux needs to simplify itself to appeal to normal users. But what is a normal user? Someone who browses the web, watches videos, and writes documents? Linux already handles that perfectly. Someone who games, Linux gaming has exploded thanks to Proton and Vulkan. Someone who creates content, many creators already use Linux professionally. The remaining friction points are often blamed on distro choice, but they usually come down to app availability and industry standards, not whether you chose Fedora or Mint. So if the ultimate Linux for everyone doesn't exist, what should people be asking instead? A better question is, which Linux distro is best for me right now? That question has an answer. Another good question is, which distro has the best community and documentation for my needs? That matters far more than tiny technical differences. A distro with a strong community can feel infinitely better than a theoretically perfect one with poor support. Inspired by viewer comments. It's also important to talk about how content creators and influencers contribute to this confusion. Endless best Linux distro videos create the illusion that there is a ranking, a winner, a final answer. But Linux isn't a competition. It's an ecosystem. Treating it like a race creates tribalism. Instead of understanding, what viewers often need is reassurance, not comparison. Reassurance that picking a distro is not a life sentence. You can switch. You can reinstall. You can learn. Linux is forgiving in that way. Microsoft's recent moves have pushed many users to reconsider their relationship with their operating system. Forced updates, account requirements, ads, and AI features that can't be fully disabled make people feel less in control. Linux appeals precisely because it restores that control. But control comes with responsibility, and responsibility comes with choice. Wanting Linux without choice is like wanting freedom without decision. It sounds nice, but it's contradictory. There's also a deeper psychological angle here. People often ask for the ultimate option because they're afraid of making the wrong choice. They want certainty. They want to avoid regret. But in the Linux world, wrong choices are rarely catastrophic. You don't lose your identity because you chose the wrong distro. You gain experience. And that experience is part of what turns beginners into confident users. If Microsoft were to release a Linux-inspired Windows tomorrow, as some rumors and comments jokingly suggest, it still wouldn't solve this. You can't copy Linux's strengths without copying its philosophy, and that philosophy does not allow a single ultimate answer. Even Microsoft's own relationship with Linux proves this. They use Linux extensively in Azure, they contribute to the kernel, they embrace Linux where it makes sense, but they don't try to turn Linux into Windows. They understand that it's a different model. So let's finally answer the question directly. What is the ultimate Linux for everyone? It doesn't exist, and it never will. And that's not a failure. That's a feature. The real ultimate Linux is the one that adapts to you, not the one that forces you to adapt to it. The moment Linux tries to become a single, unified, one-size-fits-all product, it loses what makes it Linux. Instead of asking Linux to become more like Microsoft Windows, maybe the better approach is to ask why we ever accepted that model in the first place. One company, one vision, one path, no matter how many users it leaves behind. Linux offers an alternative, not just technically, but philosophically. And that alternative requires us to let go of the idea that there must be one right answer for everyone. So if you're new to Linux and watching this because you're confused, here's the simplest truth, inspired by all those viewer comments. Pick a distro that feels comfortable, popular, and well supported. Use it, learn it. Don't worry about whether it's the best. There is no ultimate Linux crown to win. And if one day your needs change, Linux will still be there in a different shape, ready to change with you. That's not a myth. That's the reality of Linux.